Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the another edition of Black and Blue Live. I'm your host Dale, and we got another different kind of show for you here today. I want to bring some officers on that are helping the community in more ways than one. We got some crazy things going on nowadays, and these officers are kind of helping out with that because they got some special talents that maybe they should be doing, getting paid for, but they're getting paid as officers. Let me bring up our first guy here. He is an officer out of Buffalo, New York. He's a 5-year veteran out of that police department there. He currently works as a liaison between the police department and the community. In addition to that, he's also an acclaimed gospel artist who's worked with other well-known gospel artists like Donnie McClurkin, Dietrich Haddon, and BB&CC Winans. Help me welcome in Armand Mo Badger.
What's up, everybody? How you doing, man? It's a pleasure to be here, bro. Like, I'm honored that you asked me to be on a show with so many great other guests that's on here. So this is really cool, really humbling.
Yeah, glad you can make it. Glad you can make it. Then our next brother here, he is a 12-year veteran. I'm sorry, 18-year veteran of the Sacramento Police Department, so 18 years working there. He is currently assigned to the department's recruitment unit. In addition to that, he's also an acclaimed hip hop artist, Christian hip hop artist. And in 2005, he had a single called "The Focus" that was featured on a Grammy nominated CD. So everybody, please help me welcome in Israel Graham.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy to be here, man. And just like Mo said, I'm super honored that you would ask me to be on. So I'm ready to dive in. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So we bring all of us on here. So we got another brother that may or may not be showing up here momentarily. If he does, then I will get him in. Looks like he's in here now. Better late than never. Give us a minute here. Let me add him. There he is. Everybody, yeah, can you hear everybody? We are live.
Yes,
Aaron,
sir.
how you doing? Let
I'm
me give
good. How
you a
you
proper.
doing?
Yeah, you know how he's from LA, so you know how we do in LA. We show up, we'll
Yeah,
show everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, let me give him. Oh, I like the shirt there. I like the shirt there too. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Thanks for
yeah,
the
yeah,
love.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, I
he is
didn't get a
a.
shirt. I want a shirt.
You go get one. You go get one. But Aaron Thompson here, as you all see, he is a 12-year veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department. He's currently working in Watts in the Community Safety Partnership Program. In addition to that, he's also a stand-up comedian who's performed in several venues throughout California, Las Vegas, St. Louis, and Cleveland. That's an act all of in itself, being up in Cleveland. Everybody welcome in Aaron Thompson.
All right. What's up,
What's up,
fellas?
man? How's
What's
it
going
going?
on? What's going on? What's going
All
on?
right. So we were just about to get started here, so you didn't miss too much. But what I wanted to do today is I wanted to talk about first of all the craziness going on in this world, and let's talk about that first, and we'll dive in how we as officers that are talented in different fields, how we can help with that. But what do you guys think about what's going on with in our country and the protests and police reform and defunding the police and all that? What about you, Izzy?
Um, Man, this is I want to say it's unprecedented, but at the same time, it's not. I mean, these are things that we've seen before, but I think this particular time we just kind of had like a perfect storm for the pot to boil over. It's like, for the last 3 months, people been stuck inside dealing with the pandemic, people losing their jobs, and then you top that off with a video, which is like, in all honesty, it's something that I've never seen before, where it's almost to the point where usually when there's officer involved things, as an officer you can say to yourself, well, I may not have done that, but I can understand, blah blah blah. But yeah, this was one of the videos that you watch and you cringe, and you're ashamed and you're angry yourself. At least that's how I felt. So I feel like it was just the perfect storm for this type of reaction, not only in our country but around the world, which is something that we haven't really seen before.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. What about you, Mo? What do you think about what's going on right now, especially the first
Yeah,
time you
man.
saw that video?
That video, man, was horrifying. I literally, I was actually down with COVID at the time, so I had actually just recovered basically. So I was still quarantining. So I had to watch that probably 16 hours out of the day. The rest I was sleeping. Like literally, that's all I watched. And, and I remember my wife had to kind of tell me, babe, you got to stop watching it. It's going to drive you crazy. And and it wasn't even watching the video because I only watched about 16 seconds of the video. I still have not watched the full 8 minutes at all. But it was just watching the news reports and watching the looting and watching the protests. And so, like for me, especially in my hometown where, I think I'm a voice of reason. I try to be a voice of reason sometimes. It was hard for me watching, our kids out there looting and doing other things. And I couldn't help. But like, I think on that Sunday, I was actually able to get out. Like Sunday was my end. And literally my man called me from a liquor store that he owned. And he was like, Mo, they're looting my liquor store. And I just got off quarantine at 12 a.m. And I stood out there with him in a hoodie and just asked people, please don't loot, man. Please don't go. So as soon as I could get out, I was like, I'm trying to put my feet to the ground to help our community. So that was the hardest thing for me, is just watching it. And I couldn't help,
Yeah. Is Buffalo being hit hard with a lot of protests and looting and rioting and all that?
We were, but we were able to kind of have a meeting of the minds with, some of us officers that the community trusted, and the politicians, and also the leaders of a lot of the protests. And we've been able to achieve peace after it was kind of crazy a few days.
Yeah, glad to hear that. And Aaron, what do you think when you saw that video, and what do you think about the protests? You guys get hit pretty hard out there in LA.
Yeah, when I saw the video, it was gross to me. I was sick I was watching it. Some partners of mine at work, we all felt the same way. I was angry. I was real angry. I just was thinking, like, how could you do that to another human being, no matter what the circumstance was? And it actually took me a while to get through the whole video. It was like I had to pause it a couple times and talk about it, and try to kind of like go over what was going on. And I'm like thinking, like, well, what is that officer doing? And initially I couldn't see who was behind it. I didn't know that there was other officers. I just saw that one that was standing there. And so I was just like, what are you doing? And I was actually waiting for somebody from the community or wherever they were, the bystanders, to take one for the team and just bull rush the officers. That's what I thought was going to happen. And it didn't. And I was just like, this is crazy. And so when all the looting started happening in LA, like, a lot of us officers were just like, we get it. We just, of course, we wouldn't do the same thing, but, and we were on standby. A lot of our officers after that, we were on standby. They put us to A and B watch, where, half of us was working overnight, half of us was working in the daytime, and we were, just waiting to get called down there, because, in LA they was turning up and going in all those stores and doing what they were doing. And so we were just kind of standing by. And at the same time, we had multiple conversations about it, my partner and I and other officers and I. And it's just like one of those things that, COVID, now this, and just being Black and being an officer, we're torn in the middle, because we have a lot of family and friends that are not officers, and we have a lot of cool officers that we know and we kind of vibe with, and it's just we're like on, we're right in the middle, and so it's tough. It's emotionally draining, man. It's tough.
Yeah, no doubt. So, you mentioned that it's emotionally tough for a lot of us. How we alleviate that is other things that we do away from the job. So that's kind of what I brought you guys in here for today, was to talk about, your talents away from the job, and how we kind of use those talents to bridge the gap between the police and the community. Let's start with you, Izzy. Tell everybody what it is that you do on the side here.
I grew up in New York City, and so I just grew up in hip hop culture. So writing rhymes and rapping has just been always a part of my life. And I ended up here on the West Coast, and there was a group in the Bay Area that had a record label, and they signed me and a couple people that I knew. But then that fell through. But we had all this equipment, and the producer was here, and he was just like, "Yo, let's do a project." I really didn't know what that entailed. I didn't know nothing about distribution or nothing like that. But I mean, I knew how to rap. So we put the CD together, and then we found out about digital distribution and things of that nature, and it just kind of took off. Just started doing shows all around the state and then in different states, and then eventually I just felt like God just called me outside of the church, and I just started really taking it because I'm a Christian, and so my music just reflects who I am. So people say I'm a Christian rapper. I got no problem with that. I just don't say it. But I felt like I was called to be outside of the four walls, and I just kind of embedded myself, in the secular arena. And it was funny because when I first got out there, like, people was cool, and they felt me and everything. And then I didn't hide the fact that I was a cop, and there was some groups that they thought I was a narc or something. So it was kind of funny. But what happened was, when you spend time with people and you show people that you're genuine, you gain their trust.
No doubt.
And so that's it. Just doing music and being really involved with the youth in our community, on and off the job. That's what I'm about.
No doubt. Let me get people here watching and listening a little taste of Izzy, Israel Graham. Check this out.
There's a war going on outside. I'm in the thick of it. IE or EA piece, you take your pick of which. What you want, son, the minister or militant? Give my testimony names blocked to save the innocent. Mild-mannered local, but that beat'll make me ignorant. World Wide Web, make it a worldwide incident. Flash wrong instant, I'm liable to pop your filament. Talk reckless on the web, but face-to-face you act different. I'm just here to help free minds like abolitionists. My truth, Sir Jones, over speakers and live instruments. I won't stop till I get it, that's called diligence. Born again believer, getting busy for your benefit. Blessed because I'm buried in the blood of the magnificent. Bombed like I'm reacting to aggression by a terrorist. I ain't with the clique, but unashamed when I'm professing it. A beast, but acting humble when it's time to start addressing it. Leave a rapper naked if it's pride that he be dressing in. Trust me, my profession ain't diminishing my melanin. I'm black, where being black up in this world could be a deficit. But this world ain't my home, it's just a temporary residence. Another life to live, but this one set the precedent. God said I'ma make it, I keep giving the evidence. Even though I failed, God told me that I would make it. He pulled me from the water, now I kill it like I'm Jason.
Woo! My man got bars, huh? He got
Hard.
bars. Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah, you do battle raps too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Have to check that out. Do you still get into it up there in Sacktown, or?
I've been on and off for the last couple years, just focusing on work. And I got my youngest is in college. My other one, got married. So I'm an older dude. I'm 48 years old. But it's like I keep getting called back. And what I've been finding out, we have our chief. We have our first black chief here in Sacramento, and he kind of pulled off to be honest, because he got very involved in the community, and he just started pulling me out. And I don't know. So I guess now I'm back, because what happens is the music connects you to people, and it gives you a voice, and then it allows you to do other things. So I'm recording some new stuff just for the sake of being able to have something fresh when I'm out there and just get in front of people.
Yeah. Like you got a little connection problem there a little bit. You're going in and out there, Izzy, but see if you can correct that. But
good?
Catherine Glover, watching this on Facebook, said you got bars. So just want to show you that love. Next up, Mo, why don't you tell the people what you do?
I'm Mo Badger. I recorded my first album in like 2007 with a Sony subsidiary of Sony called Airfire Records. Been doing music since then. I was in full-time like music / ministry, traveling and doing conferences and stuff like that for about 5 years. So about 2012, and then my wife started having baby after baby after baby, and we had 4 kids before we knew it. And I was like, well, you know what I mean, I got to get something a little bit more steady, and that's when I got into education. I was working for a not-for-profit here called Say Yes. And then I just wanted to change the narrative of, the way our community sees policing, and build some trust there. And I'm not trying to do it by myself, but I thought maybe I could help with that. So I became a police officer in 2015. So I've been doing that ever since. And it kind of, I actually did it thinking probably not done with music, but, besides leading praise and worship at my church and other churches and little conferences here and there, I'm not really, traveling too much. And then, me and my partner, who's about 6'5", playing around in the salsaritas, and we're singing, and it went viral. And we wind up going on the Ellen DeGeneres show and all these other shows. And so after that, I was like, well, I guess I'm back into it. So it's been cool over the last, year and a half. I've been doing a lot of music, a lot of collaborations, and it's been cool. Like Izzy was saying, like it gives you a voice in the community for sure. And people are looking to see change, and hopefully they see it. And just a little small thing like music and singing can give you that trust factor to break some of those barriers.
No doubt. Yeah, we'll play another clip of you and your partner there. You're one half of what's the group you and your partner called?
Oh, the Singing Cops.
The Singing Cops. All right, so we'll play a clip of that later. But we'll give you a little taste of Mo Badger solo. Check this out.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrows. For if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call me. You just call me. You can call. You can call on me.
Hi, my name is Mo Badger, part of the Buffalo Singing Cops. I have a message from New Era Foundation. We would like to thank all of the essential workers that are giving their lives and risking their lives every single day on the front line. We would like to contribute of our own time and money towards your efforts. Please, if you would like to join with us, please go to www.wnyfeedthefrontline.org. Thank you and stay safe, everyone.
You can call on me.
That's what's up. Yeah, it is Sunday, so you just took us to church. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we got another comment from Facebook. Bless up. Alan Peters, that's a cousin of mine, lives out in Florida. So thank you for joining us. Again, I want to let everybody know that this is a simulcast on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. Your comments and questions are welcome. Just log on and shoot us something. We'll let you know. I'll get you on. And again, Beverly Catherine Glover again. She loved that. So thank you for tuning in. Aaron, last but certainly not least, why don't you tell the people what it is that you do?
Well, I did dabble in music some years ago, and rapping. And if I could sing like Mo, I'll probably every traffic stop I go on, I'm singing. They getting a ticket, but about man, it's going a little over 3 years ago. I started my interest in stand-up comedy. I've always been a goofy guy, silly, likes to have fun, make people laugh. And so I was sitting around like, what can I do? Like, I got the job, I've been a police officer since 2008. Got the job, got the family, stand-up comedy, let me try it. And I started, I took this little class because I just wanted to know how to convert my mind into a joke, and my stories into a joke. And I started doing that, and I started doing open mics. And then the instructor of the class, we're doing our thing in class, and he stops us every now and then, and he says, well, why do you work out? Because I was doing some material on working out. I go, well, I'm a police officer. He goes, what's the craziest thing you ever seen as a cop? And so I told him the craziest thing I've seen. And in my story, I made him laugh. And he goes, that's what people want to hear. People want to hear what you do. People want to hear the real. So I started talking about my job on stage. And it's a battle because not every room that I work, they don't like the police. But at the end of at end of my time, they end up liking me and liking the set. Also, I've done it up north in Northern California as well, where Sacramento, y'all, it's tough for you to be a cop out there, man. And I did Tommy T's up there and opened for Earthquake. I did like 5 minutes for Earthquake, and when I said I was a police officer on stage, one dude in the back was like, boo. Like, he didn't say nothing else. But at the end of the 5 minutes, he came up to me and showed me love, and I was like, yo, that's what's up. I'm a little nervous now with everything going on to get on stage and how I'm gonna navigate that, but I'm gonna express my thoughts on everything as well as a Black police officer, and hopefully someone out there can relate. But it's bridging the gap. It's bridging the gap between officers and the community by just laughing together, and them letting them know that I'm a human as well. So I love making people laugh. I love bringing joy to people's lives, and I do it even while I'm at work. I don't work on material, but I'll make people laugh at work, and then that kind of sets the tone and say, oh man, you know what, I could talk to you, or like, you funny, you cool, you're a cool guy to talk to. So it's bridging that gap as well. And I fell in love with it. It's an addiction. Getting up on stage and making people laugh. It's probably one of the best feelings in the world, No
doubt. Let's give the people a little taste of what you do. Check this out.
Lovely faces. I love this diverse crowd. It's very diverse. Like me, it is diverse. I know y'all confused though. Like, wait, what is he? What is he? His mouth say one thing, but his hair say something different. I tell you, my dad is Black, my mom is half white, half Spanish. So if I do the math correctly, I think that makes me Puerto Rican. Right? Interesting fact, not important, about myself, I like to just let y'all know about. It's really nothing. It's really small. For 10 years now, I've been a police officer. Thank you. I know y'all like, wait, where's the punchline? No, it ain't no joke. It ain't. I've been a police officer, and same question I ask everybody. Maybe you know the answer. Why am I scared to get pulled over by the police and I am the police? Nobody wants a ticket. Nobody wants a ticket. Nobody wants. Look, when the officer comes up to my window, I know the rules. I just hands. Registration in the glove box, no sudden movements. I get it now. I'm sorry, too fast?
Yeah, where was that?
That's what's up.
Yo, that's funny watching that because that's like an old, like it's like listening to like your music like from back in the day. You like, ooh, that was kind of weak. You know what I mean? But like, but no, I mean,
I just want to know, do you still got the same part?
Yeah, I still got that part right there. Yeah, that's wow, that's old. That's old.
Well, I got some newer stuff. We'll get into that later. So, how do you guys find your jobs? Looks like all of us are off of patrol and doing more community oriented stuff. How do you find these talents working out for you and bridging the gap in the community? Mo, you be up first. Tell us about that.
For me, it's pretty seamless, man. I mean, it's just funny, but it's like I tell people all the time around here, it's just funny. Like I always got to be on because it's always somebody taping. Like, oh no, it's Mo the Singing Cop or something. So they're always videotaping. Like I just got videotaped in a pizza store last week and went viral again. I'm like, but but it helps so much because there's so many people that come up to me and be like, man, I really don't like police or blah blah blah, but I like you, and it starts dialogue and it starts a way where I can kind of help to explain, why there's a lot of great officers in here like you three. There's a lot of great officers out there, so you know what I mean. I enjoy that it starts the dialogue. It builds relationships. It helps break those barriers, and that's what it's all about for me. Me and my partner, as well as one of our other partners as a lieutenant, started a not-for-profit COPSS. Children Overcoming Police Stereotypes Through Sports. We started that about 4 years ago now. But that's what it was all about for us, was really, helping to break those barriers and tear down some of those walls to really reach our youth, because that's what we want to reach, especially our young men. There's so much anger and stuff there. So, it's worked really seamlessly with everything I'm doing. It's been really awesome.
No doubt. That's what's up. And your partner, you guys been working together how long?
We've been 2.5 years, but like I've known him since we were like before teenagers. Our parents were like really good friends, both of our fathers. My dad's a bishop. His dad was a big community activist, like a liaison for the mayor. So they, I've known his family for years. So like I've known him, but we started hanging out like when he was a teenager. So that's my boy.
Nice. So you knew he could sing.
No, not at all. Nope. I remember we were hooping. Like he played overseas, and I played like high school, and played a little. We always played in men's league, so we hooping hard one day. So I'm always like, if I get hot, I start singing and start shooting. I'm singing to people, like just laughing and joking. And like at the end of the day, he started singing a song that I was singing. I was like, "Yo, what is that?" He's like, "No, that wasn't nothing, dude. That wasn't nothing." No. I was like, "No, dude, you can really sing." And like after that, we just kept talking about it, and we became partners. And like after that, like I would give him like pointers on how to sing, and then now I can't stop him from singing. Like he sings way more than me. He sings all day.
First of all, hold on. So you would hit a jumper and just be like, in your face.
No, seriously.
Like you said you were singing on the court.
No, like seriously, like I would shoot, and they'd be like, "That's off," and I'd be like, "Never would have made it."
Oh my God.
Oh, he was like Prince on Dave Chappelle.
Right, yeah.
Blouses.
Jumper in your face. That's hilarious.
That's comedy right there.
Get off me.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So I want to tell the people again, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Your comments and questions are encouraged. We've got on Facebook, Sharita Hopkins says, "I'm so proud, super proud of you guys. Thank you for your service, and please stay safe." We appreciate you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
What's up,
appreciate
Rita?
you. Yeah. So Mo, we were talking about your partner, and he played ball and all that. Let me just jump into that. You and your partner, the Singing Cops. Check this out, everybody.
Our next guests are two police officers from Buffalo, New York, who went viral after this video of them singing inside a restaurant was posted online. Please welcome officers Michael Norwood and Mo Badger. fantastic. You rehearsed your walkout. That's really amazing. All right, so y'all are your partners, right?
Yes.
Okay, and how long have you been partners?
2 years.
2 years. And what's the height difference? I'm just wondering.
Well, this is the little guy. You
Yeah,
know? And
yeah.
So he's about 6'5", probably with his muscles 6'6". I'm 5'4" and a half. I need that half counts.
I see. And what did you had careers before you became a police officer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in fact, I played basketball my whole entire life. I was playing professionally overseas in Finland, and then I actually broke my foot. Once I did that, I played in a couple other various leagues, and at that point, I needed a new career change. And I said, I really want to get back in the community and really work with the children. And so, I've been on the job now for about 6 years and loving every bit of it.
Wow. Well, good for you. Are you from Buffalo?
Yes, I am.
You are. You are too.
Yeah. I used to sing. Well, I still sing, I guess, right?
Yes, you do.
But I was a gospel artist, and I traveled around singing and things like that. And then I started working in the Buffalo Public Schools, and we both love working with kids. So this has been the best thing I've decided to do.
And it's funny because back home in Buffalo, they call us the Buffalo Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Because of the 90s movie.
Right.
With Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
Right.
He's Marcus, married with kids, and I'm Mike Leary. I'm single.
So this started because y'all sing in the car all the time, right?
Yes. Right.
All right, and let's hear about what does it sound like when you're in the car together?
Well,
Give her a little taste.
I got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. Well, I guess you would say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, my girl, my girl, talking about my girl, my girl.
Wow. Fantastic.
That's what's up. I love that. So you guys
Mo
came
had
out
like
here
2
tonight, huh?
extra whales on that. Wait.
One dad.
When you put the church, you got to put a little church in there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Ellen too.
Wow,
So
that
you
was
guys
up.
came out here to do that, huh?
That was awesome, man.
Man, appreciate it.
Man, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was
What
dope.
was that experience like?
Man, that was cool, man. Like, I love LA. We've actually been out to LA probably, a lot of times. I don't even know how many times in the last year. We actually got signed to a movie deal with E1. They're doing a movie about us, and we were shooting another show for a really big company in LA over in Europe, and the pandemic started, so we had to come back. So like, LA's been like mad love for us. Like, they like really been showing love. And Ellen was, she did it all for us. Like, she put us on, gave us that stage and catapulted us into whatever else is going on now. And it's all by the grace of God, man. I know we not the best singers. I know I'm not the greatest singer. He's not the greatest singer, but there's something about us that hopefully people are connecting with. So, we appreciate all of that.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. You sounded good to me. So I don't know what you're talking about. Not the greatest. Sounded good to me. I get a couple comments on here. Pamela Burke Jones on Facebook said that was awesome. I must agree with her there. And Sharita again Hopkins says, I'm a fan of Ellen and saw this episode with Mo Norwood. Nice. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
I agree. So Izzy, let's take it to you. How have you found that your talents as a rapper, as a hip hop artist, helped you in your job in the community?
Number one, it just gave me a base. It just gave me a base. I mean, I stay really close to the hip hop culture, and the hip hop culture says that you need to project who you are wherever you are. So when I work with kids, I always tell them this saying. I say, no matter where you go, there you are. You know what I mean? So, I have kids that will try to run from certain situations or whatever. And I'm like, you can't run from a situation, because once you go to the next destination, you're still there. And if you hadn't done anything to address your character, you're just going to bring those same set of problems right over there. And, you know, my wife does a lot of teaching and stuff and instruction and diversity. And so one of the things that we miss sometimes in organizations with diversity is not just your skin color. It's not just your gender, but it's the fullness of the background of all the people that you have in your organization. So if you have someone who, you know, who is in hip hop, or who is a singer, or who is a comedian, who has a certain connection to the community, put those people in spots where, you know, that will be a benefit. I know for me, it's just given me an ability to just talk to people on a certain level. Number one, relate on a certain level, just because of the way that I grew up. It's helped me to fight against some of the biases that can become trained in us almost, just from what we do on a daily basis, because we know that we have a memory bank. We have a certain foundation that says this is not the sum of who people are. I'm seeing them in this crisis moment, but that's not the sum of who that person is. And so, you know, that's what I feel, you know, even just my music, because I express it all the time. It stays with me wherever I go. When I first came on the department, the church that I met my wife and the church that I got married in is in the middle of, you know, a section of town called Del Paso Heights. My first 2 years working, I worked in Del Paso Heights, and I lived in Del Paso Heights, and I went to church in Del Paso Heights. So it was like, you were not going to catch me out there disrespecting nobody, right? Because I'm going to see you in church. I'm going to see you in the grocery store. So really, again, you know, to go back to the question of what my music does, my music is just an expression of who I am, and it really connects me to other people. Me and Mo was talking before. There's a young brother from Sacramento, we know, and he knows him, and, you know, music connected me to him, and it allowed me to see, you know, so many different things in the community that I'd never even been a part of.
And real quick, that bar that you said, no matter where you go, where you are, whatever, that one, that's one of my favorite Naughty by Nature bars. Like,
well, you had to call me out, son. I was gonna say it was like by Nietzsche or something. I was gonna say, yo, Nietzsche said, and this cat is, nah, that was trash, dog.
He said, we gonna break, we gonna bag, we gonna throw, we gonna right. He knew that.
That was the jam.
Call me out. Call me out. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah. I will say though, I'm really appreciative. You know, I don't want to sound like I'm doing a commercial, but I'm really appreciative of my chief, because that's one of the things that he does actually try to do is, you know, put people in positions where, they have a voice, and I really appreciate that about him.
No doubt. And you in recruitment right now, right?
Yeah, I just went over to recruiting about 2.5 months ago.
Okay. You guys still hiring, huh?
Yes, we are hiring. You can go to www.joinsacpd.org. You get paid while you're in the academy. And if you get hired way before you join the academy, we'll set you up as a pre-hire, but definitely hit me up. Again, I'm going to say this really quick. It doesn't matter what we change. It doesn't matter if we change policy. It doesn't matter if we change laws. None of that will matter, you know, without people. You know, we need people with hearts to serve. And that's what's going to really be one of the main factors of change. People say they want change, but are you willing to be the change? And I know that we're growing up in a generation now of people that they don't just, you know, want to leave college and just, you know, make money. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have a lot more people in this generation that want to make change. And unfortunately, because of the environment and the atmosphere right now, they don't even see policing as a possibility to do that. But my goodness, you know, I grew up in a home where there was domestic violence, and I remember my first week on, I went 7 months through the academy wondering if this is really what I wanted to do. And I went out on field training, and I went to a domestic violence call, and I remember, you know, being in that home, you know, with a young child, because I remember when I was young, I say, yo, why isn't nobody coming to help my mom? You know what I mean? And so I was that person in that situation. And it wasn't until that moment I was like, okay, I see you, God. I see what you're doing, you know. And I've had so many opportunities to do things for people and with people that I would have never had the opportunity to do if I was not a police officer.
No doubt, no doubt. So as a part of you being in the recruitment unit there at SAC PD, I understand you did a little video to help with the recruitment efforts, and I'm gonna play that for people. Check this out, y'all.
I be the difference. Difference they need me to be. Difference I'm needing to see. While follow, I'm taking the lead. I be the difference. Difference they need me to be. Difference they needing to see. While follow, I'm taking the lead. I be the difference. 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 Yeah. I be the difference. I be the difference. I be the difference. Yeah. I be the difference. I be the difference. Yeah. Over the heavy, I shake past off. Got nothing to hide, got no mask on. Same man with a badge on, a badge off. Deep box off pics, I shake traps off. I'm an enigma, I'm over the stigma. A glitch in the system, I'm living. True Muslim or Christian, whatever religion, we all in position we given. I am not moved by the news. I do not do this for views. You live with the life that you choose. The treasure to find, here's the clues. Be open to listen, be open to giving. Be ready to nourish the roots. Develop the vision, then play your position. Be willing to love on the I be the difference. Difference they need me to be. Difference I'm needing to see. While follow, I'm taking the lead. I be the difference. Difference they need me to be. Difference they needing to see. While follow, I'm taking the lead. I be the difference. 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 Yeah. I be the difference. I be the difference. I be the difference. Yeah. I be the difference. I be the difference. Same brick, build a bridge, I build a wall up. I'm down for whatever to build all up. Take notes on what Marvin Gaye taught us. The world won't change on its own, it takes all us. World won't get no better. World won't get no better if we just. World won't get no better if we just let it be. Don't bring no hate from my chakra. Get it done with love is my mantra. Get it done anywhere, Black Sinatra. No phantoms, I pull the strings of my opera. I'm looking for changes like Pac, so I keep my head up like Pac. Invest in the people like stocks. The love of the people won't drop. I be the difference. Yeah, difference they need me to be. Difference I'm needing to see. While follow, I'm taking the lead. I be the difference. Difference they need me to be. Difference they needing to see. While follow, I'm taking the lead. I be the difference. 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 Yeah. I be the difference. I be the difference. I be the difference. Yeah. I be the difference. I be the difference. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Give it up for him.
Yo, I don't even remember doing that video, man. I don't remember doing that video.
Hey, that's your long lost light skinned twin right there.
Right. I do not remember that. I don't remember
That's
that.
hilarious.
Yeah. I paid you too. Remember that? You don't remember that? I paid you.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that. Did y'all even have a permit to be out there doing that? I mean,
Hey, the King. Hey, check this out. So the Kings actually let us. You know, that wasn't a green screen. We were actually in the Golden One Center, and I got to perform. Huh?
Is that what they calling it this week? The what center?
No. So the old Arco Arena is gone. Well, it's still there, but Kings playing a brand new arena called the Golden One Center. It's dope. It actually transformed all of downtown. So, but yeah, they let me perform that at a game one night, and it was actually the night that they shut down the NBA. So it was like right after I performed. They took all the players off the court. I said, "Yo, I'm hard, B. I shut down the NBA.
Yeah, shut it down.
I shut it down, son."
Is Kevin Johnson still the mayor there?
No, he's not. He's not still the mayor. He's still in the community. He revitalized a large portion of Oak Park, but he's still here. Yeah.
Does he still have a bowl cut though?
He got a fade, son. He got a dope fade, as a matter of fact.
When he used to play, he had that bowling ball when he used to play, but he was bad. He was dope with it. But
you remember that jam that he did on, who was that on? Ewing? Who was it that
yeah.
Hey, don't bring. Hey, you don't gotta bring that up. Hey, let's move on. Move on with the show.
Oh, look at there. He's still New York.
Move on with the show.
He's
Yeah, we
still New York
deducting that
retired.
statement. We deducting that from the statement. We don't. Yeah.
Right.
We can't properly articulate that.
Okay. Well, let's move on and let's give props again. Viewers on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Let's see if we get a couple more comments in here. Bethany Glover again. Beverly Glover, like that. Be the difference. I guess she's heard that track before, but be the difference. We got a Moyette Graham. Said thank you for your service.
That's my sister. What's up?
God bless each of you. We appreciate you. We got Kathy Ryman. Thank you for your service. Thank you. We got Morris Hunter on Facebook. Hope you didn't get that Rona. You shut it down there. He also said KJ is the most underrated point guard in NBA history. I have to agree there. And one last one, Sharita Hopkins says, you guys are the difference. We appreciate that. Thank you, Sharita. And so, Aaron, your comedy talents that you on display here, like it ain't jokes for days here.
I'm a fool, man.
Yeah, I can see that. How does that help you out there in community policing and bridging the gap out there?
Well, I'm the unit I'm assigned to, the Community Safety Partnership, is something that actually, our chief and when the old chief as well, and then my captain, who she goes around across the country teaching other departments what we're doing. We're assigned to the housing developments, aka the projects. So we're doing foot beats around there. We're driving around trying to keep the people who live there safe. Quality of life issues we address here and there, but in a different way, in that community policing way. It's not like hard. We give a lot of warnings. We talk to them. We build relationships. And with that said, when I go around, like sometimes they be hanging out hard. Like it's a lot of them sometimes, and they be double parked and blocking driveways and all, parking lots. And so sometimes I got to get on the PA so everybody can hear me at once. And I might say some things and make them laugh a little bit, but it drops the tension and it makes them laugh. Oh, that must be Thompson. He a fool. And all right, everybody move their cars, and they start moving their cars for me. And and then when I get out the car and I start talking to them, we're just rapping. We're just talking and chopping it up. And the funny things they say, the funny things I say, we're just going back and forth. And it's I keep it light, and what that does is it drops that tension and builds that trust. To where, man, I could talk to this guy. Like, yeah, he got a badge and he got a job to do, but at the same time, he's just a regular guy who likes to crack jokes. And they all can see it if they do. My Instagram is not private. I've gone it somewhere where I don't know someone, but they be like, hey, you that cop, you that funny one. And so, like, I saw your Instagram and stuff like that. So it creates a conversation. It creates it opens a door so we can converse and talk. And I think that, that's one thing that I could say making people laugh and being goofy is actually helping as a police officer. It's crazy, but it's true. And I love it. I love it, especially we're doing what we're doing. We're doing a lot of things with the kids. You got basketball programs, Watts Skills Academy. You got the the Watts Rams that the LA Rams had kind of adopted, and all the coaches for these programs are cops. And so we definitely need more cops. Like Izzy was saying, like we definitely need more cops. So that are from these neighborhoods, you know. So, you know, join LAPD.org, and you know, come on over, get some benefits. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, the benefits, boy. I tell you, I go to the doctor for anything now, boy. Back when I was growing up, it took a while, but now, you know, I get a hangnail, I'm calling my doctor. We Zoom calling or something.
You talk about you were talking about Mo earlier singing when he was you know, getting a J over somebody. Do you kind of like crack jokes when you putting the cuffs on somebody or chasing somebody down or anything like that?
Oh, I always talk mess. Like I always talk junk. Like if I like while I'm running after somebody, I'm like, I'm gonna get you. You better stop. I'm gonna catch you. I ran track in college, so I'm gonna catch you. You know, I'm always talking, and you know, even after I catch them, I've made a couple guys laugh before. I remember one time, it was a bunch of it was a backup. Everything, it was, you know, they had a bunch of people, you know, like spread out in front of the house, a lot of officers around doing their jobs. Some lady was going off at the mouth. Some dude next to her, I could tell that he was kind of like the person in charge, but he was kind of quiet. And there was a grill going on in the front yard, and I just walked up to him right behind him and was like, "Hey man," I said, who you let burn the chicken?" And he just looked at me and started cracking up. And he was like, "Man," I was like, "Look, man, who's the lady next to you?" She was like, "It's my mom." I said, "Look," I said, "tell her, let the officers do their job, and we'll be out of your hair." And he's like, "Mom, hey, just be quiet." And she just shut up and made things smoother. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes making people laugh and crack the smile, man, it's like, but I'm telling you, if I had Mo's talent, I'll be singing everything, like everything. I ain't no jokes coming out of my mouth. It's just straight singing.
Straight singing.
There's a fool in the crowd. Check out some more.
But it would be great if y'all was partners though, so because then he could rap in the middle of the song. Why y'all? Yeah, and you just sing like, "You getting arrested, you getting arrested, you getting arrested." Like, y'all be a good team. Y'all be a good team. Hey, just know when y'all go on tour though, that y'all need an MC and a host for the whole show. So that'll be me.
Definitely.
Hey, let's do it. We do the Down by Law tour. Let's make it pop.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
I'll make them laugh. Peters, you could host it. I'll come in there and make them laugh. Yeah.
And one thing about me too, fellas, I'm a DJ on the side too, so I do.
Okay. He's sitting in the cut. He's sitting in the cut.
Well, we got the whole thing here now.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah. So let me plug you again, Aaron. So check out some more material from Aaron Thompson. Check this out.
Here we go.
Yo, man, you got any warrants, man, I should know about? You shaking a lot. He's like, "Man, I don't even know." Oh my God, here we go. It's the beginning of my shift. Like, you should know if you have a warrant or not. Like, if I ask all y'all right now, do you have an STD? What will you say? Exactly. That one of you that was like, "I don't even know." Go right now, leave. Go to urgent care. Piss in a cup. Do something.
You're wrong for that.
Straight up.
Mo, did Mo go to urgent care?
Stop. Hey, stop.
Yeah. Can we get through this?
This dude, man.
So that was at Kimmel's, huh? How long ago was that?
Yeah, that was at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club in Vegas, right off the strip. Lunel, living legend. She saw me perform one night in Inglewood where Chris Spencer, my boy Chris Spencer, threw me up. She saw me perform. She came up to me and you know, wanted to work with me. She thought I was funny. I thought that was like the best compliment I heard thus far. And she was like, "I'm gonna take you with me." She had me go with her St. Louis, Cleveland, and then she took me to Vegas at the Kimmel's Comedy Club, and they liked what I did as well. And so I was out there we was out there a lot, almost every Sunday, because she has a residency up there in Vegas at the club every Sunday night. And because of her, I was able to do that up at the Kimmel's Comedy Club.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's super
Vegas is open again, so I'm sure you're gonna be back up there again. I know I'm gonna be back up there soon.
Hopefully.
So,
Hopefully.
Yeah. Let's get a couple more comments. Again, we on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Let's see. We already said Sharita says you guys are the difference. You got Beverly laughing there, Aaron.
Thank you.
And my cousin Alice said you repping the black and blue team.
There you go.
Sir, yes, sir. That's going to be going online or for sale here soon. So my brothers here on the broadcast, they're gonna get it for free, but the rest of y'all it'll be ready for sale here momentarily. So let me ask you guys real quick. With all the problems going on, with all the tensions and the protests and the riots and all that, a lot of that has to do with community relations or poor community relations, or the non-existent community relations. How are we guys bridging that gap? How are we making sure that our message is getting out there to the people? What about you, Izzy? How are we getting that message to make sure that these things don't occur again?
Oh man, I know. Are you talking about just personally, or just on the department, or you want both? What are you looking at?
Well, basically, us as black cops, black law enforcement officers, and us as law enforcement in general. How are we making sure that things like this don't happen again and again and again?
No. Be honest. I think one of the things about being a black person in whatever profession you are is whether you want to or not, you represent your entire culture. You know what I mean? It's unfair, but it is what it is. At some point, you're just gonna have to realize that. And the whole point of you being a black person and in this uniform is that you bring that blackness with you. Sometimes it could be really hard to not. Like police culture is something that is it's A-type personalities. There's certain things that you have to do. There's certain things that you have to perform, and what you really have to guard against is almost diluting your own diversity for the sake of fitting in. You know what I mean? When you have an opportunity to speak up, you need to speak up, and we need to be in our community. We need to be in the black community and developing relationships with the people in the community, because unfortunately these things are gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you have not developed a relationship and built some kind of trust with people in the community, it's too late when something happens. No one's gonna hear you, and it could be kind of disheartening with emotions really high right now, and you feel as though everyone is against you. But it's just the way it is. Even in family, you have people that'll talk crazy about you in your own family, but at the end of the day, you're family, and we have to figure out a way to, or just be cognizant of the fact that we can't just let our skin color in the blue uniform be enough. We have to bring our intention. We have to bring our cultural relevance. We have to bring our history. We have to bring our background. We have to bring all that to task and really fight against putting it down just for the sake of fitting in, because otherwise there's no sense in diversity. If diversity comes over and you just assimilate, then you just are what you are. And that trust in the community, it's hard to build it if you don't have a voice in that community. I know one of the things that I'm really happy about that my department did was that what they started doing was they take at some point during the academy training, now they actually take the entire academy class and they go and they do community service in the communities, because for a lot of these officers, they've never even been to the communities where they're going to be policing. And you know, that's a hard thing to overcome, to tell somebody that has never been part of this community that you're only seeing 2% of the worst. You know what I'm saying? So the relationships that you build, you know, on a personal level, I just feel as a Black officer, you have a responsibility. You can't duck it. You can't dodge it. You can't say, oh, you know, that's over with. You have to build that personally. And then if there's any way that you can build up any kind of significance within your department, and then you get that opportunity, whether it's through your talents or through a position or through a promotion, once you get there, you can't forget where you came from.
No doubt, no doubt. Excuse me. Hey Mo, what's the church doing in situations like this? Has the church been involved down there in Buffalo?
Yeah, man. My dad is actually a bishop, super involved in what's going on. We're really just trying to. I mean, like, it's tough for me because, you know, as you know, some of our ministers are our most outspoken leaders. So I have to, you know, kind of as a minister also, but as a police officer, I have to be careful what I say. I still represent the department at the end of the day. But, you know, my dad he's a radical pastor and bishop, and he really wants to see change. And this has really been heavy on his heart for years. And he has a pretty prominent voice in our city. So, you know, I mean, I think we'll see changes that, you know, that need to happen. But I at the end of the day, you know, of course, what Izzy said, you know, wrapped it up very well. But I mean, for me, I just think of accountability and just making sure that we hold the bad officers accountable. And that's not white officers. That's bad officers. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Not saying I know a lot of bad officers, but I know Black officers that are bad. I know Spanish officers that are bad. I know white officers that are bad. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, everybody has a role to play. And I think, you know, once as officers, once what we do, like what we're doing, guys, community, I was a community police officer. I actually worked in the gang units and stuff like that too. But, you know, now I'm an SRO, and sometimes it's look like almost like we're not real cops anymore, but this is all needed. And I think once we change that mentality, hopefully we can change that to know, you know, I'm the arms, you're the legs, you know, you may be doing something else, but like it says in the Bible, we all work together in unison and we become the body, you know, and I think if we can just change a lot of the ways we look at policing, we don't have to be these tough guys all the time. Not that I won't throw the hands, I will. But, you know, there's more to that than this.
Yeah. I will say, SROs, we real cops. I'm an SRO too, so, yeah.
That's what's
much
up.
love on that. That's what's up. But let me get a couple more comments here. Daphne Gaultier, I guess, another part about law enforcement going on tour. Let's make it happen. She wants to make that happen. Let's do that, fellas. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
9:09 p.m. LLC. Robert Johnson on YouTube says, I do believe in my Black policemen. I have faith in y'all, and that all will do the right thing, and pray for you all. Be safe, and she loves us. We love you too. Appreciate that.
I should know.
Jacqueline Darius, how do you guys feel about the defund?
Jackie, I know her.
Who knows Jacqueline? You know
I do. She actually works. She actually works in LA. She works in LA, and she gets with the community, and she does a great job with the community. So
okay, maybe you can answer this question. How do you guys feel about the defund the police movement?
Hey, it's so funny. Like the same people who are talking about defund the police will call the police and need us there to be there for them. And we will be there for you. Call us, we'll get there, and we'll do our job. Especially me. And so I mean, I went to college. I got my degree. I earned that I earned that raise for that degree, so you're not taking that from me. And then as far as like putting money into programs, there are a lot of nonprofit organizations. There are a lot of government-funded programs for the community, especially with the one I work in Watts in LA. And the programs can always use donors. They can always use more money because of what's going on. If you try to defund the police, you're not just defunding the police officers, you're actually taking away from civilian workers as well that are now having to take furlough days and they need to provide for their family. So if you're defunding, you're not just defunding the police, it's a trickle down effect. You're taking money out of a lot of mouths that are not officers. So, you know, it's like, if you want to defund the police, that's fine, but tell me exactly what money you're talking about, and then where you want that money to go, and show me the receipt. Like, you can't trust. You start talking about defund the police, you start taking money out of one area and trying to put it in another. A lot of hands are going to be touching the money. Where's this money really going? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know, with any business organization, I need to see some receipts. So it's like, it's hard to just, you know, talk about, well, defund the police. It's levels to everything. But I'm so for putting more money into programs that are going to help rebuild, you know, small businesses that because of COVID-19, a lot of small businesses were lost. Yep. A lot of we couldn't even have our programs because of COVID-19, and the programs that we ran that were ran by police officers were free for the children and their parents, because in these areas that we're working, the parents don't have a lot of money. So we're going on trips. They're playing in leagues. They're getting free shoes because of the program. So now that the programs aren't there, the destruction's not there. So I mean, and you know, so when it comes to talking about defund the police or whatever, and at the same time, I'm all for training. I mean, LAPD's already been training for you know, bias policing, and I mean, we've been reforming for years. And so the money could go more into that reforming, and like he said, like Mo said, talking about, you don't have to have that, you know, that you know, I'm a tough guy mentality. Shoot, you know, officers need, you know, to be taking yoga and you know, all that stuff that'll calm their nerves and calm their bodies, like, you know. So programs for police officers and training for police officers, I'm always down for. So if you could find money here and put it into reforming the police department or whatever in your city, whatever, I'm all for that. But when you start talking about taking away salaries just because, you know, those just because of what's been happening, you got to start thinking about how many lives are going to be affected by it, and they're not just police officers. They're city employees and that work for the department, but they're not officers.
Yeah, I think a lot of this needs to be reform. Reform is the buzzword. Yeah, a lot of these things get kind of change the way we do stuff, but you know, actually getting rid of police, I don't see how that can happen to begin with. Izzy, you have something to say?
Yeah, I mean, the term in and of itself is loaded, and the problem is a lot of people it's being purported to people, and some people don't even understand what it actually means. So, for instance, when like what Aaron was talking about, like when you talk about defunding in certain senses, right? And I'll say this: I'm not against anything that, you know, that could bring forth a positive change for a community. All right, police, we're just part of the community. So I'll just say that. But with that is, I'm very much against knee-jerk reactions, because they never actually serve the purpose that the people that propose it actually serve, and you wind up doing this, this back end thing. So I will say this, for instance, in some cities, counties, municipalities, or whatever, they have a pot of money. And let's say, for instance, you have a money for a mental health care. So whether it's housing, treatment, or, just some kind of triage, right? In some instances, it becomes cheaper for the city, county, or municipality to send a lot of that responsibility to the police department, because you have a ready-made force of people. We're the first contact. We're the first responders. We're a captured audience. You can train us. We've already had background training and things of that nature, and we're very good at triaging situations, right? So as opposed to you having it becomes less expensive for that city or municipality to have the police take on more responsibilities than it is to actually put enough money towards mental health care that will actually make a difference. So it's one thing to say, hey, I'm going to take $5 million from the police department and put it over here. But the issue is that $5 million is not enough to address the problem that you're putting. So you can defund the police, and now you've got money going somewhere that it's not enough money to actually do the job. So if you're talking about and then another thing with when you talk about defunding police, like you said, it's usually going to be the civilian employee. It's going to be that crime analyst. That's the person that tells you what's working and what's not working. It's going to be civilian oversight or things of that nature. It's not the police officer that you're defunding. It's the police department that you're defunding, because the last thing that's going to happen is you're going to take police off the street. Does that, if that makes sense? So I just want to say, when you talk about defunding, it could be done a million different ways. It could be positive, but it'd also be extremely detrimental if it's just something that's done as a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, got you there. A couple more comments we got here on YouTube. Moya saying again, she agrees with Izzy. It's important to be your authentic self, and I am glad that the department tries to introduce new officers to the communities they serve. This was going back to when you said that the academy is bringing new recruits out to the neighborhoods. They'll be patrolling. We got the V says to your comment there, Aaron, about yoga for police. She says meditation for police officers. Yeah, some of us do need some meditation there. Again, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Your comments and questions are encouraged. But we're going to be wrapping this up here pretty soon. Any last words, Mo, about your position about community policing and where we go from here?
I think we just got to keep pushing, man, fellas. I see, just in this quick, interview of this hour, man, to see you guys have really been inspirational to me, just to see that there's a lot of guys out there that get it, man. Sometimes you kind of, get discouraged sometimes because you don't know who's really understanding the call and the weight that we have on us to really make change, so, to hear you guys and your stories and everybody doing it in a different aspect. And, I'm the young guy, but to see, some of the guys that are older, that sometimes that are most, jaded, really still loving their community and in it to win it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, this was encouraging. I'm so glad, Dale, that you asked me to be part of this, man. And I'm definitely going to stay in touch with all you fellas, man. Y'all are truly awesome. Keep pushing, man. Y'all definitely going to help change some things.
No doubt. Closing words there, Izzy. Where do we go from here?
He brought up that term, real cops. I really want to have conversations about things like evidence-based policing, having the community really hone in on what their actual ask is, as opposed to just saying we want change. Educate yourself so that when you voice at the table, you know exactly what you're asking for. And for police departments, really determining, the terminology that we use. It's like there could be a difference between being a good cop and being an effective cop, and so those are two different things depending on how you define those terms.
And appreciate you. And get a couple more comments in here before we get our last word here. Dafina Gautier, she says, thank you guys. I love my police brothers. Appreciate all you guys. Shout out to Israel SAC PD. Got a following here is. And Elizabeth, Liz Badger. Okay. This was really awesome. You guys are the truth. Love you, babe. Who's she talking to? Which one you talking to? Okay.
Oh, he passing notes in class? Really?
Oh,
hey,
my
got that public for you, okay? One last one here. Beverly Glover again says, thank you and God bless. Thank you, Beverly. We appreciate you. Last words, Aaron. Where do we go from here?
We need to get in the room with each other, the community and the police. We need to stop this them versus us. And I'm talking to both sides. It's not them versus us. And we need to get in the room, hold each other accountable, ask what you need from me and what I expect from you. What do I expect from you? What do you expect from me? We need that to happen more often. It's happening, but not enough, evidently. And we need that. If we need folks like myself and you brothers that, I'm not going to be part of the problem anymore. I'm gonna be part of the solution. So if you don't have a crazy criminal background, join the police department, because I promise you, we need to, whatever you think the police is, then infiltrate it and make it something different. That's why I joined and I do it my way. And there's a lot of like-minded officers who do it their way, and it works. And the way the departments are going now is really in a positive direction. Continue to work with the police. I ain't saying be a snitch, but I'm just saying work with them, and do our best to build as a community and not against each other. And this whole real cop, non-real cop crap, that needs to stop within the department as well. This whole police versus police, I mean, we're not gonna get better if we fighting each other. So we gotta use our resources and build with each other. And then, it's not a them versus us. Community, please, when you see us, say hi and ask us all the questions you want, and we'll be honest with you. And I'm not a higher up guy, I'm not a chief, but I know what kind of person I am, and I'm really trying to make a difference. And I'm pretty sure, and the brothers on this panel is the same thing. So let's continue to do that. Let's get in the room and let's hold hands and talk about it and hug it out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Real. At least virtually. We can do that virtually here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that your IG up there on the screen there at Israel Graham?
Yeah,
okay.
That's my IG. It's
Tell
not
us
private either.
How can the public reach you guys, Mo?
My IG is Mo Badger, MoeBadger. And that's on everything. That's Twitter, Facebook, anything, Periscope, which I don't use, but just anything. Actually, my email too. So MoeBadger@gmail. Anything you can pretty much find me if you put Mo Badger in.
No doubt. Aaron, how can the people reach you?
At Real, REAL, and my name at Real Aaron Thompson, and that's how they can reach me on TikTok and IG. So.
You on TikTok too, huh?
Yeah. I haven't posted in a while, but yep.
All right, you dancing too or what?
Yeah, I get my little groove on,
Okay.
Gotta show
right, gentlemen, yeah.
Hey, Dale.
Go ahead, Mo. Yeah.
Just want to say thank you, man. This is really excellent. This is like you did this at a high level, man. I was truly blown away. I muted and told my wife, like, yo, this dude got it going on. I gotta find out what he's streaming on. This is hot, you know.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, can you do us a favor and just put our if y'all guys don't mind, throw an email, throw our information there, just so I can stay in touch with everybody. I really truly enjoyed this.
Yeah, we'll do that on the private screen as soon as we end this broadcast. And I want to end this broadcast on a high note. So one last performance by Aaron Thompson to keep us laughing on the way out. Here we go. Check this out, y'all.
And like that is the hardest thing for a man to do is to raise a daughter. The hard, am I right, brother? The hard. We don't want our girls to do certain things well. Think about it. I don't want my daughter to know how to do the splits. She plays soccer. I don't even let her stretch before her game. Like, get up. What are you stretching, Daddy? No, get up. You want to pull a hamstring today? I don't care. You know that pole that kids go slide down at the playground? She was taking gymnastics one year. She's like, Daddy, look what I can do. I said, get your ass off that pole. Get your ass off that pole. No.
The real Aaron Thompson.
I got 3 girls, so I know the feeling.
Same. I got two daughters, bro. Same thing.
My
man.
God.
Only got one, man. Only got one.
Man.
It's tough.
I know. It's harder than being a police officer.
No, for real.
Yeah. Yep. Because you remember how you was when you was young.
Yeah, see, that's what you didn't need to say right there. You need to leave that alone right there.
Facts.
Why, Dad? Why don't you want me going to this party?
Hey, what you say? That's loaded. Hey, Izzy, what you say? That's loaded.
Yeah, that's loaded right there, son. Yeah. I don't even want my daughter to like listen to my songs sometimes. I be saying stuff, and she's like, now she's older. She be looking at me like,
right, bro.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate each and every last one of you. Be safe out there. Everybody listening and watching, be safe as well. And, we'll catch up soon. And everybody, y'all know what to do. Stay black and blue. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, that's it.
God bless.